employees asking us to report 5 things that we accomplished last week. I'm not worried about my 5 things. I have plenty of things to report. I did plenty of work last week. But the feeling of just like absolute existential dread that I felt typing out a response to that email is something that I wish I could convey to everyone, because...
Oh, don't worry. we know, but it's like, okay. And the whole reaction to this, right? So this is one of those weird, how do I put it? Like, how do I put it? Like, weird expectations, or more like entitlements, I suppose, that people have developed the last few years, where you are, like, they closed up the game studios working on Wonder Woman. I forget the name of it. They hadn't produced anything for 8 years. Nothing.
Why?
They've been working on Wonder Woman, I guess, for just nearly a decade. And then people are still, like, shocked they got fired. And, like, you have gone and collected a paycheck for 60 months, and you have produced nothing.
I can't even imagine.
Like, and you're shocked they let you go?
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like,
yeah, like it is just such a foreign way of thinking. Like, you have produced
the question.
nothing, and you just expect the paycheck to come in every month without question. Like, you understand there needs to be money in the company first for them to pay you?
Yeah. That is mad. That is just mad.
And this is the same thing. Like, there's an email getting sent out, like, okay, what did you do last week? All right, what did you do last week? It's not a particularly difficult question, especially not if you have a regular job. If you're doing like 9 to 5, yeah, you'll have done loads of things last week. And yet they react as if this is some kind of personal attack that's just unthinkable. What do you mean you're asking me what have I done for the paycheck I've received?
Yeah, the shocking entitlement.
Yeah. Like, that is the problem. Okay, you know how in the US, largely you can fire people for virtually any reason. It's very easy to fire people in the US. It's not here in Europe, by the way.
No.
However, did you also know that federal employees have carved out a whole host of rules specifically for themselves that makes it far harder to fire them?
Oh, did they? Interesting.
Yes, they did.
Who could have imagined that they have a personal carve-out?
It's strange how that happens.
Very interesting.
So yeah, no, federal employees have a whole host of specific things where they have to have, like, particular reasons, or you can't fire them. So they made sure they would get their bag, and that leads to people then going, what do you mean you're asking me what I did? I sat here watching YouTube videos like I do every week.
yeah. Fuck these people.
Because it felt like such a glimpse into the reality that they are trying to create.
Yeah, the reality we've been living through.
The reality of, you must do work.
But like the perennial feeling of fear and the constant labor that we have to do. And I'm not trying to complain about being...
I have lost... Oh, shit.
You cut out there.
And every day I wake up and I'm afraid they've just deleted my channel for no reason. And there's nothing I can do to get it back. So yeah, that's what we live under. You know, don't get me wrong. We made the choice. I'm not complaining. I love my life. I love my job and everything. But it's not like that's not a real thing. That's totally a real thing.
You know, and again, also, genuinely, YouTube is an excellent job to teach you a very simple lesson, that if you don't do anything, you won't get anything. A lesson that far too many governmental employees and employees in general seem to have forgotten and or ignored.
Heresy's the question. Fire
What
is
is
the
going
answer.
on?
Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Is your internet fine?
Well, I mean, my internet's fine, but for some reason the Discord connection seems to be a bit funny. I don't know why, but I'm just gonna... So what did you say there? I missed it.
Yeah, try to leave the room and rejoin it. That might fix it.
I just did, yeah.
Did you? I didn't even see that.
Heresy's the question.
Right, let me
Fire is
redo
the
my
answer.
connection too. Hopefully that's better.
Okay.
But I just said that YouTube is actually an excellent job to teach you that if you don't do anything, you don't get anything.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's
Question.
like YouTube is
Fire
just
is the
merit
answer.
based. There's no getting around it. You've
Unless
got to
you're
do the
Hassan
work,
Piker.
and everyone's got to like it. And if you don't, then you die.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that YouTube's algorithm isn't brutal or anything. It is.
Yep, but again, it teaches you unironically many valuable lessons, and life is often not fair, and you will probably get dicked,
Service
and you
guarantee
still just
censorship.
got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, this was a work ethic that was entirely normal. Just like
Yeah.
like 50, 60 years ago, it's like, okay, you
Not
got
even
up
that
in the
long
morning.
ago.
Yeah. You get up in the morning, you go to work. If not, you don't get food.
This has been the work ethic I've had instilled into me my entire life.
Yeah. It's like, we're not even 100 years out from the time when people used to be deathly grateful of even having employment.
Yeah.
I have lost.
And it was terrifying. It felt like you will do what I say or else.
Yes. Yes, you will do the job you are being paid to do.
You've closed the stream.
Oh, God damn it. Because I rejoined. There we go.
Yeah. There we go.
But yeah, she just said it's terrifying that she has to justify receiving a paycheck. It's like,
What? Why? Why would I even?
Yeah, far too many people just seem to think employment is a right now. You know.
And no, things. No. Employment implies you are doing something productive, right? Like, it implies you validate what you do by actually doing some goddamn work. That's not what this person thinks, right? This person thinks I'm just entitled to it by mere fact of my existence.
Yes. I deserve a paycheck for no other reason than because I exist.
Yeah.
The email that we received did not say that failure to respond would be taken as a resignation, but the post on X did say that. And leadership at my agency is pretty much like, the email's authentic, but we don't know if the threat is or is not. We are going to respond, but kind of left it up to each of us to decide what to do.
It's like that too. Like, this is one of those weird bureaucracy things, right? Where there's an email going, hey, what did you do? And even like the leadership of the company is like, oh yeah, you don't need to like respond to that.
Why would you say that? Elon Musk is literally going to fire you if you don't respond.
Yeah, and they're suing now because again, federal employees have carved out a whole bunch of special protections for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
But the very idea that, like, at the very least, the bosses should be like, okay, but just tell them what you did last week, I guess. Make something up, if nothing else.
Yeah, just fucking lie. I mean, well, he's not going to check. Because the thing is, there are 3.5 million federal employees, something like that. He's not going to check. Like, the point is that you were paying attention to your fucking emails. You know, that's what this is for.
And there's also... Okay, this is something I only learned about existing, like, a few days ago. There is something called a mouse wiggler.
Well, I know what this does.
Exactly. I didn't even know this was a thing, but no, there's a whole host of devices that exist solely for the purpose of moving your cursor across your screen. And this is because a lot of governmental agencies and big tech firms are actually monitoring whether or not your mouse is moving, because they figured that means that you're doing something.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when Elon says that he's not actually sure that the people he's sending emails to even are at their desks and doing anything, you know, that is actually a legitimate concern.
Yeah.
there could genuinely be a substantial number of governmental employees who are just not actually at their desk. That
Oh, we know there are. I mean, look, this is what work from home is such a big problem with.
yes,
It's like, yeah, no, we can't have this. You know, you can't just be like, I'm just going to sit at home and fucking, oh yeah, I'm working from home today. No, you can't have
Service
that.
guarantees
Yep.
citizenship.
I'm sorry, you can't be trusted.
Yeah. You work for the government. You cannot be trusted.
Oh yeah, there you go, chat.
I have lost.
Now you two know that this is a whole thing.
I had no idea.
I mean, neither. I was shocked. Like, mouse wiggler? What the fuck would you use that for? Oh.
Skiving. That's what, yeah.
We have received more emails about all of the fucking bullshit going on with DOGE and Elon and all of this federal employee stuff that like I've spent more time in the last couple of weeks navigating these emails, going to these town hall meetings, going to these other meetings, making sure that so that the leadership can break down what's happening and tell us how we need to respond and tell us what the fuck is going on and tell us, oh, you might lose your job because when your FTE runs, like there's so many things that they're having to convey to us. And so nothing that actually should normally be getting done and accomplished is being done or accomplished.
Probably a good thing.
Woman.
I don't want them doing things.
Yeah,
Like,
but
the less the government does, the better.
also, like, this is exactly the problem, isn't it? Like, if you need to go to meetings all day, you need to go to town halls. You gotta spend the whole workday informing yourself about the meaning of the sentence. Respond to this email, or you get fired. Something is very broken.
Yeah.
It's not cryptic language. Write down 5 things you did. Send email.
Yeah, it's not like...
Maybe the bureaucratic drone has gotten so far that
But
unless...
again, this,
I have lost.
it was just a test to see if they were paying attention to their fucking emails.
Yeah. And even then, that requires apparently lectures and fucking town halls and like seminars to explain.
Apparently.
Burn it all. Burn it all.
Yeah, totally.
Accomplished because we're all so busy fucking trying to navigate this hellscape that is happening. That is waste. That and the fact that the studies we work on, if we are worried that they might be considered, something that will lose funding, what's the point in working on it now? And has the last...
Because it's your job.
Yeah. It's literally what you're paid to do.
Yeah. Until you have your own revenue stream, just do what you're told, I guess.
Yeah. Like, yeah, literally, what were we even discussing here? Do your job.
last year, 2, 3 years of work we've done on it been for naught? Like, that's wasteful. Like, this...
You're right. Your shitty programs should have been cancelled sooner. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Listen, I've spent 3 years studying whether turnips can feel pain. You're just going to cancel my project? Sorry, I guess.
No sympathy whatsoever.
This whole thing is an exercise for them to show us how much power they have and how little we have. And
again, like, yes, they are your employer. They do have all the power over you. Like, that's just kind of... We thought that was obvious.
They literally employ you. You are the employee. What now? What are we talking about here? What are we doing? What are you asking for?
I desire to have more power than the person who pays me. Like, oh.
Yeah, no.
and how
Fired.
we must do what they say. And it's so insane because, again, who the fuck is Elon? Like, and how does he get...
He is the guy who's been instructed by the president to fix the problem. That's who he is.
Yep. I mean, if you're asking for his credentials, he's the richest man on Earth who's trying to explore space right now.
But has taken it upon himself to save America from its own bureaucracy before he does this.
Whilst he's figuring out how to go to Mars, he's decided to dedicate 5% of his brain power to figuring out whether or not you work or not. And it turns out all it took was an email, so...
Just shrug, you know? Like, what more do you need?
He gets to tell us the the 2 million people that are going to have to respond to this email if they choose to.
Yeah.
I was like, again, 2 million fucking people.
Well, no, 1 million. There's 3 million. 1 million already responded. She's speaking in the wake of 2 million who still haven't.
Are they going to go through 2 million emails to make sure that they were honest, to make sure that they were authentic, to make sure that the items listed out were relevant to the people's jobs, to make sure that the person, like, there's so many things that would have to happen.
They're not going to do any of that.
Yeah, they're probably not. It's really simple. It's the lowest possible bar. Tell me 5 things you did, send it in, and we'll just check you off.
It's literally just respond to this email.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
If you don't respond, we assume you're not there.
Yeah, which is a totally fair assumption.
And for them to like actually legitimately go through these emails, and that's not going to happen because it just like it can't happen, you know. And
also though, okay, right, are you telling me that the federal government, who employs 3 million people, couldn't check these papers? Because if you are, boy, do I have news to you when it comes to the federal tax collection services.
Yeah. That's a great point. They're hot on things when they want to be.
Like, we can't possibly check 3 million emails, but 300 million tax returns. Oh, we're fucking on that, baby.
Yeah. Fuck
we're
these
checking
people.
every comma.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, that's the thing as well. Yeah, you fucked up here. It's like, oh, Jesus, have I? Fucking okay.
And again, like, it's just a flex. It's just, you need to know who's in charge, and this is one of the ways we're making you aware.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And the feeling that I felt responding to that email was such a glimpse into a possible future here, a probable future here, if we don't fucking do something about it.
Of efficiency. A probable future of people doing their fucking jobs.
A probable future of being required to commit to labor for my paycheck. Oh, no.
Incredible. Probable future of not sitting around doing nothing.
Where am I going to look up my beauty tips on YouTube? At home?
Yeah.
It felt so scary and so heartbreaking. It felt much like I would imagine living in a place like what I always imagined North Korea to be like would be.
Yes.
She thinks North Korea is like the private sector.
Well, not even the private. Like, she literally is sitting there already with a bunch of special privileges that she's carved out for herself in protection against being fired. And all she's being asked to do is make up 5 fucking to respond to an email. She's like, this is literally North Korea.
Yeah. It's the end of the world. I can't imagine anything worse.
This is why the children yearn for the mines. Okay?
Yeah.
This is why children need to be sent to a fucking coal mine for a month whilst they grow up. Just so they can look back upon it.
I bet she left university and just went straight into the federal government as well.
Oh, yeah. And probably with the understanding and plan that once she was in the door, she was just going to live there as a tick for the rest of her life.
Yeah, 100%. Like, she thought she would retire in the federal government.
Yeah, like that's why a lot of people get into the federal government, because of all those protections. Like, it's the job security is you just exist there until you retire.
Yeah, well, 100%.
North Korea, like, this woman has in all due likelihood never done a day's labor in her life. Like, and I mean labor. Okay, now I'm a YouTuber right now. I'm a prissy fuck, but as a kid, I did actual, like, logging work, okay? Walking through the fucking forest. I walked through brambles till my fucking legs bled. I had to wring blood out of my fucking socks. And I was paid fucking nothing for that. But it was a job. It was something. I was saving up for a fucking bike. And, well, and not a lot of people were willing to hire a fucking child, basically, to save up for a bike, so,
Yeah, like, we've all done it. Like, I used to work in a fucking... dairy factory, and the whole thing, it was 10-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts, like 4 days a week, and the whole thing just smelt like puke the whole time, right? Just this pervasive smell of puke in the air, and it was cold as well, so if you had 12 hours, everything had to be chilled, obviously. So it's this cold, vomitous smelling area, and I spent, I think I probably worked there for a month in total. And it was a rough month, man. It was a rough fucking month.
Oh, yeah.
Like, And that was only because I was on the school. It was on like a holiday between leaving sixth form and going to university. So it's just like, okay, well, I may as well do something while I'm here, right? And so that's what I did before I went to uni. It was like, oh, God, I hate it. But I didn't hate it, actually. I didn't hate it. It was just, looking back, it's like, God, that was not great.
Yeah. The thing is, you need this experience of what labor actually is.
Yeah.
Because it will shape you. It will shape your entire understanding of the world, which is why this incredibly spoiled, prissy look... I bet you, she spent a couple hours doing her hair and makeup before this.
Oh, yeah.
Is sitting there like, I might have to tell my boss what I did last week. This is North Korea.
Amazing.
Brandon comes in with the amazing 50 there. Thank you very much, Brandon. I'll be honest, I wouldn't have even thought that hard about it. I'd have just pulled up work orders with my name on them for the last week and put together a list.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they're stressing this much is telling. Yes, no, absolutely. Like, again, it's a week. You've done, like, if you have been at your place of employment, you've done 5 things.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine you haven't, right?
Yeah, like, I find it difficult to imagine you haven't done 5 things a day. Like, if you're working like a 9 to fucking 5, you should have plenty of examples.
I mean, yeah, that's a week. You know, it's like a week. Fucking hell, man. I hate to think how many things I do in a week. I'm just always constantly working.
Yes. Like, unironically, the only times I play video games these days is when I stream them, which is half the reason why I do stream them.
Same here. That's exactly what my little pondering channel is for. This is when I'm basically off the clock.
Yep. I just like going on online and hanging out with my fucking subscribers. That's what I do.
Yeah,
That's
me
my
too.
liberty time now.
You ignorant slut.
Be like, where the energy is, yes, master, your wish is my command.
Oh no, I have to do what I've been paid to do, and this guy's my boss. Hard life.
Welcome to employment.
Yeah.
And again, these people that we're reporting to are people that have no expertise outside of like tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. They're not asking to like check your work because they probably wouldn't even. I'm sure whatever you do is very technical.
Yeah, I'm sure it's really important.
Yep. They're just asking if you've done anything. That's all.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about the health services that are operated through the federal system or
they
about.
Yeah.
And there's no reason they would, and that's not why they're there.
Yep. It's not the point.
Anything, really. And now half of the CDC workforce is gone, and the national park rangers are like largely gone. These are people who have worked their lives to have the careers they have, who have gone to school for this, who have built a career over years, decades. And now some man and his very ridiculously young tech bros are taking away the careers of lifelong federal employees.
Yes!
Lifelong
Yes! Into
federal
my
employees.
veins! Yes! All of them!
And again, okay, so I got some flack for this take I had, where they are like, Kate is a park ranger at Voyage National Park, a remote area near the Canadian border. Her job was to protect boaters, campers, and hikers who want to experience some of the most beautiful parts of our state. Musk and Trump fired her on Friday.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure she's a nice person. I'm sure she did a good job, but...
Yeah, and exactly. Like, this is all just tugging on your heartstrings. She was fired. All right. Here's the thing. I'm sure she's lovely. I'm sure she did a good job. And I'm sure the boaters and the hikers on the far borders of Canada were very appreciative of her. However, the US is $36 trillion in debt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we afford Kate?
Yeah. And the answer is just no. I'm sure Kate does a lovely person. I'm sure she does a great job, but it's luxury spending, and that's off the table.
Yeah, it is that simple. You have
ignorant
like anyone who has a house budget knows this. If your house budget is in the minus, then you're going to have to go like, well, I'd like to take the Cadbury eggs, but I can't.
Yeah.
you can't have the extra bag of chips. It's literally, it's luxury spending. This isn't necessary. National security does not rest on Kate's shoulders. We can't afford it.
Yeah, it's just off the table.
Simple as. And it is such a basic thing that every person knows this. But when it comes to the government, seemingly we all think they just have infinite money and we can pour it into anything to the point where they don't even need to justify why they fucking get that money.
I have lost.
I mean, at least Kate probably does something.
Yeah, at least Kate actually, seems to do something useful. But even then, sorry.
Yeah.
Just sorry, we can't do that anymore. Can't afford it.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I'd rather fire you than Kate, but...
Yeah, if that helps. I'd fire you in a heartbeat before I'd fire Kate, but trillions of dollars in debt.
Yep.
People who have devoted their lives to this country, to the government, who have taken the oath.
Have you, though? Have you? I know that sounds good, but have you, though? Is collecting a paycheck committing yourself to the country?
Yeah.
Like, you're not taking a bullet in Afghanistan here.
Mm. Yeah, having trouble believing it, frankly.
We all take an oath to the Constitution. That's not just for military and for people in politics. That's for all federal employees.
It's for leeches, too.
Service guarantees citizenship.
And people take it really seriously.
Do you, though? Do you believe in oaths? Do you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what god did you swear the oath before? That's the easiest question to answer, right? You can answer that. Which god? The answer is none, right?
And all to your likelihood.
Yeah.
Things get done. Things continue on, and things are happening because people are doing their jobs. There are people all over the place that are not doing their jobs everywhere all the time. That is certain. And that...
Okay. But...
Really? People not doing their jobs? Interesting.
does not, that extends surely into people that work for the federal system, but everything that's happening is not because they don't think we do work. It's because they want to say, we have power over you. And that is a feeling that everybody should fear feeling when the people in charge of the place you live start to exercise that power in a way that there's no like real reason for outside of you will know who's in charge here. Like, I am the captain now is the energy. That's terrible.
Okay. They've been utterly explicit, right? The US is going bankrupt.
Yes.
Trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. Money, like the debt clock is just the most preposterous thing I've ever seen in my life. So you look at it and you go, okay, what is this? This is not going anywhere. Yeah, like, why are you firing people? No, fuck off. Like, this is just come on. Like, you're just doing it to exercise power. It's like, let's assume they are, but you still have to go because you cost money. That's why.
Yeah, like, the out of all of these crazy, absurd numbers here, the one you need to pay attention to is simply this one. Interest on debt.
Yeah.
$1 trillion of just more money you have to pay because of how much debt there is.
Yeah. Preposterous. It is preposterous.
This is the United States, which should, by all rights, be the wealthiest nation on the face of the earth. And it's $36 trillion in debt.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy, and it needs to end. And no, just simply allowing 3 million federal employees to sit around farting all day, it's not going to fix it.
And no amount of emotional appeals is going to change our minds on this.
Yeah, no. Math, unfortunately, just doesn't care.
Yeah, it's literally just about the numbers at this point, love. It's absolutely nothing personal. Don't know who you are, don't care who you are. You need to get fired.
Yep. It turns out that we can't afford this, and the DOGE clock is the only thing that matters. Saving money is the only thing that matters now.
Yeah.
And hey, DOGE hasn't been perfect either. It has fired people who it shouldn't have, and because they don't have the expertise to understand the entirety of the federal government. Sure, there's going to be bugs, unquestionably. But the time...
Elon copped to that the other day, didn't he, in a meeting?
Yeah. But the simple fact is, the time to do this very carefully, slowly, and subtly was about 20 years ago, okay?
Oh, probably more than that. But yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, like, we're not there anymore. It's just not an option.
I have
The
lost.
hacksaw has got to come out. It's like literally, as you sit here watching chat, just the interest on the debt alone is going to be over what you earn in a fucking month. It's numbers the likes of which you can't even fucking imagine.
Yeah. That's really what it is. It's just absurd numbers, you know, like.
And so we're going to have to fire Kate.
Yeah.
We're going to have to fire 1,000 Kates. And we're going to have to fire quite a few of these as well.
Yeah.
And I think we'll benefit from it. Again, let's go back to the oath for a moment, because what I find interesting is like we take the oath very seriously. What is the oath? The oath is your dedication of service to a greater entity. And then that is followed up with, oh my god, the person above me thinks he's above me.
Yeah, I can't believe there's a hierarchy in this federal government. Okay, I don't know why.
Remind me, who did you swear your oath to? Yourself?
Yeah.
Kate swears to Kate
straightforward to me.
to extract as much money from the federal government as Kate can.
Yeah. I don't even know why you're surprised by this.
I genuinely want to talk to this person and be like, okay, but you understand that you have a boss. You understand that that boss gives you your orders. Like, what is your objection to this situation? Because I think, honestly, a lot of this is just entrenched political biases of the idea that we're all equal and there's no hierarchy, etc. It's like, that's just not how this works.
Yeah, no, that's not how this works. I mean, any organization like a government is expressly hierarchical.
Yeah. And you are hired to perform a service for that hierarchical organization. A service that will, by necessity, have to benefit us more than your paycheck is.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're here.
It's one of the things that people just don't understand, which is absolutely ridiculous to me, which you see in game development when they spend 8 years doing nothing and they're shocked Pikachu face when they fire. It's like, there's no money. There's actually no money. Where are you going to draw your paycheck from?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. What do you say to these people? They don't understand. Money doesn't just get, fall out of the sky. It's like, okay, no, it doesn't. Things have to be earned. Now what?
Yeah, it's like, but we were working on something we thought was important. Did it earn anything? No.
What, your suntan? I don't believe you. I don't believe any of these people. Are like, we work really hard. No, I don't believe you. There's no incentive in a government bureaucracy to work hard. There's just no reason to. But there's just literally no reason to do it. So why do you think I would believe that?